everybody, welcome back to the dumbest hobby channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies. We are back with the Agora models, AH-64 Apache. We have Pack 9 in here, hot and fresh off the presses from the UK. We are going into speed build mode. I said in the last video, this helicopter is intended to be at the IPMS Nationals at the Agora Hobbies booth, at their vendor booth. So we are going to skip over some of the accoutrement that goes on the landing pad area. Agora is going to bring all that to the show. I am going to build the helicopter with its installed weapons only. I will still build all that stuff for my own use. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. I already stole the Hellfire missiles out of Pack 70. So there's that. We've got a whole bunch of packs in here, and let me pull up the instrucciones. Stage 67 Avionics Bay is the first thing we have to start futzing with here. Click the links below to Agora models. Click the links below to my buddy Todd's website, myapachelongbow.com. Is that it? Is it? It is, yeah, myapachelongbow.com. All the links are below. My Amazon shop, you can get tools and stuff. Of course, you can go to Mike Lane for Vera screwdrivers when you're buying mods. He doesn't have anything for this helicopter currently. But yeah, I'm in like hyper, go to hyperactive mode. Yeah, so like I'm going to ludicrous speed because I want to make sure I get this thing done, do a good job, and have it looking really sweet for everybody visiting the IPMS Nationals in August, as well as my friends over at Agora Models. This is the first time I've ever had the honor of being invited to a vendor booth with a model I've built. So it's very cool. I'm very excited. So we're going to scroll down here. We got the Avionics Bay. We've got all this good stuff. And what we're going to do here is, first things first, is we have to take this little part and stick it into this little part. So this is very similar to the other side. And the pegs have their own sizes to them, so they'll only fit in one way. And if that's oh, that is a really good tight press fit. No glue needed there. So that's fine. And then we've got decals. And we got stuff for like the belly, the drop tanks. We're not worrying about that. Stage 68 now we need. So I'm going to still do my detailing and stuff because I'm fully painting the outside of this helicopter. It's going to be awesome. 71. There's 68. All that stuff in there. Okay, I'll put you back over here, box. Yep, fun times, man, fun times. I also got Pack 10 sitting in the wings. And then I just got to wait for 11 and 12 to show up and some draft instructions. So Todd will have his Pack 9 instructions up pretty soon, I think. Hell, he might already have them up today, which would be awesome. Let me just double check on that real quick. Let me refresh the website. No, he doesn't have them up yet. Okay, that's fine. No worries. I'll make do. Oh, fingers crossed. So we have the part of the staircase here and the steps for the staircase. Kind of probably not going to use those right now. If I have time after I'm done, before the show, I will definitely start building all this. But what we need now is this clear part here. Oop-a-doo. There we go. This little fella. And we're going to need, let's see here, we got that. Get some little bits here. Ooh, little tiny parts. We got this plate right here. So I'm going to keep one of those bags aside to keep parts in that I don't use right away. And what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before, is I am going to not just put this clear part behind here, I'm going to put some nylon mesh on there as well. So give me a sec. I'm going to cut out a piece of nylon mesh, which I should have somewhere down. There we go. I have some of this nice fine nylon mesh from some rando Tamiya tank, I guess. And I'm going to cut a piece of that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to take that little window now, because I squeezed the nylon mesh between the clear part, because that's not supposed to be a clear window. It ended up a clear window. I mean, during the design process, from whoever designed this, I don't know, it ended up being clear, and it should have been basically just the screen. So we're gonna squeeze that in there. I'm gonna go compare. Oh man, that is a tight fit. This does not need glue. I might put a little glue. It doesn't really need it. Let me, I'll be right back. I'm gonna compare this to the other side. Okay, so I've popped it back out because apparently I'm not supposed to put it in just yet. What we do need to put in though is this, let me zoom in a little bit. This tiny little round doohickey here. Focus, there we go. And that is gonna go right in the front little hole there. And she clearly needs a bit of glue. So I'm gonna do a little Tamiya thin cement on the back of the post there. That'll hold that in nicely. And then that staircase stuff, and we're kind of done. So we're gonna have these still aside. Well, that's staircase. So I'm gonna put that in the staircase bag, along with this bag of steps. I'll build the staircase, I mean, at some point, definitely. I just wanna get through as much of this model as I can to get to painting. So then stage 69, hold on, one moment please. Wait, oh, there's a tiny little part here. Hold on. That little guy. Oh, that's a piece of heat shrink tubing that was sitting on my workbench. False alarm. 72. 69. Yes, exactly. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, we've got some things other than, there we go. Let's see. Other than just pieces of, got some screws. Excusez-moi. Tissue paper. There you go. Got a few more of these base panels for the display base. Very nice. We got a little door here. That's good. Another panel or two with some pegs. Some of our piano hinges. This should be very similar to building this first folding door. So I'm going to probably just use that as a reference to build the second folding door. There we go. So that's the outside of it. Let's see what we're doing here. We've got, man, we got a lot of screws. Okay, so I got to put a few of these panels on to the other panels that I already have assembled. So I'm going to get that done. I'll be right back because those are somewhere over yonder. Where did they go? I'll find them. One moment. Okay, well those are all, oh my God. Whoop, wrong way with the zoom. Those are all screwed together with the RPs. Oh my Lord. That is a lot of panels there. I don't see a pass-through hole anywhere. There will be one at some point because this will sit on the IKEA base. Not IKEA, I just say that for all particle board wood. So yeah, I'm gonna put this aside. I'll be right back. Okay, terrific. So what we're gonna do now is take one of these hinges, this one right here, and with that thing facing out, we're going to bolt her down to these 3 holes with 3 SP screws. And we've got 4 of them right here conveniently. Interesting. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so our hinge is in. Looks very nice. And now we got to deal with this. This is the tricky bit. So we've already done one of these. And they are a little on the tricky side. But we're just going to follow the same system we used over here. Okay, so what we're going to do, take these 2 panels. The topmost one has the big tab on it, and it's got the 3 pins. We're going to lay that down facing up. This other one, there's rivets, that's the outside, and it's basically parallel both ways. So we're going to put that right down there. And then we've got our hinges. So what we're going to do is take, let's see, I think this one will go on here, like so. I'm just going to squeeze it, I'm just going to press fit it into place for now. It seems to want to line up. There we go. All right, and we can take out some pliers. I'm going to use duck bills. So they have a good amount of surface area, and they're very gentle. They don't have any teeth. They're smooth. I'm going to squeeze that in there. And we're supposed to squeeze... Oh, for God's sake. Hold on. I've been beckoned upstairs. I have a time frame now. So let's see here. Now we got to take, so there's a longer and a shorter end. So now we're going to put the longer end on, this side of this panel. These are a little tricky to get on the pins. That one fits down nicely. This one less so. And then this one will go right on there. So now what we got to do is glue these down because they don't hold themselves. So we got to get some Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I'm going to glue them in this orientation. So we got rivets on that side where the round hinges are, and then, Jesus. And we've got the inner panels with the pegs like that. And that's the side view. I'll have them all pressed down fully. So I'm going to get some glue on those, and give me 1 sec. Okay, so that is glued together just like that. And all the edges look pretty, they're going to be pretty, there's going to be a tiny gap. I mean, it's fine. It's almost, actually, part of it's an optical illusion because of the size of the metal hinges plates. And then we got this built, and that's it. We're done with that. So off to stage 70, we're possibly going to modify some of these steps a little. But let me get to it. Let me see. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's 70. I already stole the Hellfire missiles out of it. There'll be a separate Hellfire missile mod video coming out because they look awesome. Todd came up with some great mods for the Hellfires. You can go to his, his website in the link below and go to the mods section, and you'll see the Hellfire missiles. He did a whole awesome optical seeker head on it. And I'm gonna try to do it justice. because that looks awesome. So we've got the Hellfire rocket rails, the missile rails, sorry, not rockets, missiles. We've got a couple of brackets here. We've got a couple of tiny little tubey things. So let's see what we got to do here. Assembling some of these missiles. These are the Brimstones. These are the British Hellfires. It's basically a Hellfire body with a British head, with a British warhead and seeker on it. They're pretty cool. But for this build, we will be skipping, for this part of the build, we will be skipping over all the missiles. I'm going to do one big, magical, amazing missile video. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, so we've got these rails here, and there are some notches. There's these little notches here, and we want to make sure the notches face out. So that one's going out with this little lip forward. And the other one, we're also going to do the same way with the notches facing out. So we have our notches out on this side, notches out on that side. Laces out, Dan. And then we have these two top parts. And if you can see, the holes have a flat spot. So those are going to be at the rear. Let me get this stuff out of here. Let me move these forward. So those will go like that. And they will clip right into place. Like so. And they stay in there pretty well. I'm going to put a little glue on those and snap them back together. 1 second. Okay, so these are pretty cool. Those are snapped down, glued down. I just put a little dab of Tamiya thin cement on the bottom of the peg. So what we're going to do ultimately is we're supposed to glue our Hellfires. Now this is one of my Seeker Nose Hellfires, modded. That'll go on the top there. And then we'll mount the bottom rail. I wonder if you squeeze these together, mostly. Yeah, they're, oh, okay, they snap together. Can we sneak the missile in after the fact? If we can't, then we're not going to fully assemble these missile rails. And we can't. So either way, they're just snapped together for now. But imagine that with 4 of those on there. But they'll have the markings on it and everything. And that is awesome. You got your 2 magnets in the top that'll stick to the bottom of the wing pylon. So that's pretty awesome. Like I said, it's just snap fit for now. I'm going to, I'll wiggle it back apart. I'm going to paint it, then wiggle it back apart, put all the missiles in, then snap it back together and glue it down. So yeah, I think, what do we got to do? Oh, we got to put these tiny little tubey things right here and here. So there should be a couple of, where do they go? Oh, there it is. Man, those are tiny parts. So let's take a look here. And nope, that one goes over here. Okay. So this one, let me grab some needle nose pliers. Smooth needle nose pliers. We don't want to mar the part. And get that. Does this push down into here? I need glasses. Man, I'm getting old. Let's see here. Yes. So this one goes down here. Mm-hmm. Kind of. Sort of fits. It's a tight fit. There we go. Just like that on both sides. I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue on each of these joints, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Give me a sec. Alrighty. Oh, that's looking good. It's, again, just snap fit. I fitted these in here, just press fit, just to see how it looked. We got stage 71 here. So this is the, well, Todd knows what it's called, the MTADS turret. There we go. I think Todd's sending notes over to Agora with the technical names for things. So yes, this is part of the MTADS turret. And there's all our bits. So now the whole nose section with the MTADS in my build is a slightly different color from the rest of the helicopter on the Japanese Self-Defense Force models. So we're gonna do a bit of a unique build on this, and like this thing is black in the back, and there's a clear screen over it. We're probably not gonna put any of the clear parts on. We're probably gonna save those for later, and we're gonna assemble this and paint it. And then this is going to get a piece of reflective film behind it, and like these two little black lenses in here, I might just put a little putty in there, and then they're going to get a little touch of like chrome paint or something going on in there. Maybe I'll go to the hobby shop and get some Turbo Dork, like metallic reflective paints. I don't know. We'll see. So we're not going to take this clear part and put this onto here. We are not going to take the other clear part and put that onto here. We're not going to do that. So we're gonna save those for later. So now what we got to do is take this fella, this center section. We're going to put this. Oh, so squeaky, the plastic. Oh, good gosh. There we go. Okay, we're going to put that in there. Then it looks like we're going to put this on here. And that's almost a great press fit, but not quite. So we're going to put a little bit of Tamiya thin cement on these posts. And slide that onto there. There we go. So I don't care if I paint over this necessarily, or even this for that matter. I could just hand paint in those details, and then I'll glue the clear lenses on after the fact, because I got to paint this whole MTADS. And now we've got some little tiny pieces. So this is interesting. Let's see here. Okay. So all the clear parts are in this bag, so we're not even going to touch that. Now we've got this tiny little thing, which looks like a cable cutter. That needs to go on the nose of this, right in there, like that. That's going to need a little glue and a little time. A little glue in a couple minutes. We're just going to let that wick in the Tamiya thin cement. There we go. Perfect. Make sure she's straight and fully seated. Oh, good God. There we go. The glue makes things a little slippery. There we go. Perfect. Okay, don't breathe, Ian. Don't breathe. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, that's dried for a little bit. Yeah, it's probably fine. And now we got this little peg here, and we're going to put that through this hole, and there's a stopper. So this can go a little side to side. So that's kind of cool. And now what we got to do is get this fella on here. So this is going to fit onto that. And there we go. See? So you can see how it'll swivel. And this needs a little bit of glue on this peg. And be very, very careful. Just get the glue only on that peg, because you want this to still be able to move. And I suggest while this glue is drying, every now and then, just give her a little wiggle. So for the next couple minutes, I'm just going to sit here and give this a wiggle every now and then until this glue fully sets off. So 1 second, please. A lot of waiting here. All right, well, that's dried, and it's still nice and movable. So now what we got to do is take this fella and plop her down onto there. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I like this. This is cool. So we got that. We got to get a TP screw. There we go. Right into the top of this thing. These are going to be, even though I'm going fast and I'm skipping stuff, long videos. It seems to have a slightly, yeah, that wiggle, wiggle. That's cool. All right. It's a little, there's a little bit of a, let's do that. There's still a little bit of wiggle there. That's fine. So it wants you to glue a clear lens into this, which I'm not going to do. I will do that at a later point. And then we've got this part, and it wants us to put it into here. So we can glue this clear lens in later because it goes in from the outside. So that's fine. I'm going to get a tiny bit of glue of Tamiya cement down into there. We're going to press this in. Snaps in pretty well. And there's another little clear lens that they want you to put on there. I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to wait. And like these little red edges, I don't care if I paint over those. I really don't. I'll put them on with a paint marker or hand brush them afterwards. Yeah, so no clear lenses. And then we got to put this down onto here. And there are a couple of pegs. So let's, I think I'm licking leftovers out of my gum line and teeth from dinner. That was pretty good. We had some air fried barbecue chicken thigh and jasmine rice. It was tasty. It was enjoyed by all. There we go. Okay. Look at that. Look at that MTADS. Thank you, Todd. Thank you for putting that keyword in there. Flying on my own right now. So that's complete. And next thing is 72. We're putting some more of those panels on the base. And we're gonna, yeah, more display base and a couple more missile pods and things. So let me go get the base, and I'll get those parts bolted on, and I'll show you what it looks like. Be right back. Oh my dear, that is a big base. So there's 4 pieces left. I'm assuming this one right here, this center one right here in this end, will probably have a hole through it to go into the actual base itself, because coming up in pack something, we're going to have a metal rod with kind of an XLR microphone type old school jack. That's going to be the power and control wiring to go from the base into the helicopter. And yeah, but this thing takes up a lot of space. Oh boy, I gotta buy one of those little folding hand dolly things for the IPMS Nats. I could roll this thing in one piece. This is gonna be fun. And there might be enough room in the trunk for the Mi-24 Hind to go into an exhibition only table somewhere in the model show. I'm not gonna put it in the show to, like, you know, to be judged. I didn't customize it enough, I don't think, for IPMS rules. But yeah, there we go. Be right back. Okay, so on to pack 73. This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be so awesome. Oh boy, I had no idea it did this. This is cool. So if we gently release our parts from their plastic coffin, we will find the world's most adorable servo. Oh my God, you adorable little baby boy. You are so cute. Oh, look at you. Look at this adorable little servo. Oh, you are so cute. I want to pinch your cheeks. Not the ones on the back, the ones on the front. You get your minds out of the gutter. Look at this. Well, that's a really long, geez Louise, that's a long servo cable. Holy crap, where does that thing go? That is adorable. Do we have a servo tester? Do we have a thing? We probably have a thing. There's got to be a thing. Well, we'll find it. Let's see what we got to do first here. They want us to put this servo into this bracket. Servo, meet bracket. Bracket, meet servo. Hello. Hi. Oh, that squeezes in nice. Look at that cute little servo. Oh my God, I love servos. I'm a big RC car guy. So like RC car, RC tank, RC monster truck, RC buggy, RC, I like RC stuff. I don't do planes or helicopters. I do have a drone. I like my DJI Mini 4 Pro. That thing's cool. I crashed it immediately on its real first maiden test flight of actual function of like recording something useful. We have this tiny little gear head that we need to shove onto the servo. Come on. Get on there. Oh God, I hit the floor. Wait, I watched it when it fell. Hold on 1 second. I found it. I watched it the whole time. Okay, glasses on now, Ian. Oh, that is splined, technically. Sort of. Man, that is, yeah, that's tightly splined on there. I think this is a bad idea. I need more of a clamping, bar clampy type situation here. Let's get one of these out. There we go. let's clampy. No. Oh, God. Why don't you want to go on the hole? Oh. Oh, man. Okay. We can't rock it in because of the servo tabs. I'd have to cut the tabs off the servo to rock it in there with this already on there, because it would be a lot easier to put this on without the servo being in place. Hold on. Plan D. Don't like hammering on servos. I already whaled my finger the other night. Nope. How do we get this on here? You know what? Let me get the servo out of here, and I'm going to dry fit it onto the servo. And I might just need to push it on there before the servo's in this bracket to kind of like break in this little gear. 1 second. Okay, so what you want to do is press this on. I squeeze it on with a bar clamp. Press it on before you put it in this bracket. Then pry the gear off with a small flathead screwdriver, preferably a Avada screwdriver from Mike Lane Mods. Oh my God, Mike, that was a good one. And then you could actually shove it on there pretty easily by hand. And then if you need to, you can tap it down with your soft-tipped rubber mallet. And now that's in there. Dear man, that was... Okay, well, that's in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing and put it on the back of our MTADS. So that's fun. Okay, we want this thing pretty much centered because there's geared teeth on the back of this. And we want to shove her onto here. Like so. Just like that. There we are. And a couple of UP screws. One here and one there. Let me get those in, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay. We also put one VP screw down in the bottom. And now... Okay, that moves okay. We want to make sure it's kind of dead ahead, I think. And now we've got this little slot in here with these two little cutouts for this little gear. So let's get this little gear. We're going to drop that in there. Okay. All right. And we're going to take our servo assembly and put it on top of that. There we go. Okay, so you want it kind of, I think, dead ahead. I'm not quite sure. Should we be testing this servo? Caution to the wind. So we're going to put this down with 2 UP screws at the top and 1 KP screw at the bottom. Let me put that on, and then we'll shmoo our gear and give her a test. Be right back. All right, well, I couldn't find a thing to test this with. I know I had some kind of motor servo thing from some model. I can't find it anymore. So either way, but we'll be able to test it before we do any final assembly, so no worries there. On to pack stage 74. Got that. Oh, there's 75. We'll just put that out there for now. And we got some water slide decals. Very nice. And Boxy, you go that way. Goodbye. Let's see what we got here. So again, you know, I'm not building all the stowage. If I have time, I will. but I'm more concerned with doing the cockpit hatches. There's the clear plastic window. And so we've got to mask this off. I've got the rest of the upper hull here, so I masked this off with something tape. So let me get the door, and I'll get that masked up, and I'll be right back. And here's the door looks nice. Very nice. So just fit right in there, like so. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let me get some masking tape on this fella, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, our window's masked. I just snapped it into place. It's very easy. Top in first, then snap the bottom in. So like slot in the top, then snap down the bottom. That's seems to be the best way. Now we've got this bag of tiny little things. We've got a couple of pins with knurled ends on them, and we've got a couple of tiny little door handles. They want us to put in the inner and outer door handles, and yeah, don't do it, Ian. Don't do it. I know better. So I am not going to put the outer door handle on. That's the wrong glue. I need the crazy glue. Because Todd put his outer handles on, and the other night he was on the live stream, and what did he do? Yeah, he did in the end. He snapped off the handle. But that's to be expected. These little tiny plastic detail parts. Like if you're doing a completely stock build, I would still wait till the end to put those on, just for. Come on, go into your place. There we go. Let's see here. Oh my God, I'm shaking like a. We made coffee ice cream earlier. Like there's nothing that KitchenAid mixer can't do. But my God, yeah, the caffeine in that ice cream. I don't know where the hell my wife got that mix from. But whatever that coffee ice cream mix was, that thing is like, it was like 95 octane. It was race gas, jet fuel, whatever you want to call it. There was actually a Keurig K-Cup pod back in the day called like, I think it was jet fuel. My coworkers were like, one of them and specifically was obsessed with it. And we're going to just lay this in the door there. And I had a cup of that rocket fuel, jet fuel, whatever the hell it was one day. I just sat at my desk shaking. And like people came by like, Ian, are you okay? I'm like, no, I drank Jordan's coffee. And not the Jordan that you're thinking about. This was just one of my coworkers. And I'm like, they're like, oh no. I was like, what did I do? They're like, oh, well, do you have baby wipes with you? And I said, what? Why? They said, you have that jet fuel coffee. Yeah, you're going to be in the bathroom real soon. Yep, they were right. I got very little work done that day, other than being in the bathroom. As my sole accomplishment, oh my God, I was... Let's see, we're going to get the pin into the hole. You know what, let's start with just getting the pin into the door hinge. That way. And let's pre-start the pin for the back as well. This is so tiny. So basically the rear pin goes in from the back with the knurling face, like in the pliers. Hold the knurling with your pliers. Start the pin. For fudge's sake, start the pin in the hole. Okay. And then what we will do is then get our bigger pliers. There we go. Our duck bills. And we gotta just squeeze that pin in there. And then just squeeze that pin in there. And then just scratch all the paint off your damn door hinges. I'm painting this model, so I'm not being as carefuling as I would recommend to you. There we go. Use the smaller pliers. They work better. I'm using smooth jawed pliers. Make sure your hands aren't all sweaty and clammy like mine. Okay. She's in. I only scratched a little bit of paint off. It's fine. I'm painting the whole thing. Let's see. And does she... She sits down pretty well. Oh. Is there like a snapping? Clicks into place a little bit? Yeah. Oh yeah. She fits fine. There we go. So that's it for that. We're not gonna build the fuel tank. I mean, we could just put the fuel tank together. It's fine. Come on, let me not be a total spoil sport here. Not gonna use the fuel tank, but might as well put her together. So the magnets with the shorter distance to the edge here is gonna be the front, and it has slots in it that'll only go in one way, so you can't mess that up. And you will want to glue this together. These, yeah. So we're gonna glue. They need to be glued, but man, that's a pretty big fuel tank. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Next up, we get the missiles. Yeah, water slides. No. Stage complete. Okay, stage 75. We got another fuel tank, and we got the pilot's door. Usually, you know, with jet aircraft, fixed wing, the pilot has the front seat, and the RIO or the weapons officer, or whatever they're called, you know, the backseater is not the pilot. So it's reversed in the Apache. They give the gunner the better view because he's operating, you know, all the weapons, and then the pilot has the back seat. But they sit the pilot up a little higher, and they got the clear between them for protection. Where did I put that? There it is. So just interesting, you know. It's like, oh, so that's how that works. I mean, I've known that for years, but it's like, it's interesting how they reverse the roles when it's a helicopter because, you know, they're doing more close-in stuff. There's another fuel tank and the fuel tank stands and that stuff. And now we got some more pins and door handles. And our clear window and our door frame. And again, I'm going to put some masking tape on this thing. Give me a sec, and I'm going to snap that window in. I'll be right back. Well, another moment of Ian forgetting or thinking he hit the record button, but you didn't miss much. Just two more pins in there and an inner door handle. There we go. This one has a tiny bit of a gap. I'm assuming maybe there'll be something that might grab onto those doors better later to give them more of a positive click. Otherwise, I will come up with something to get them to sit down. They do fit perfect in their door frames. It doesn't seem to be a positive click for them to hold in. So, well, we'll see how it goes. We got you know, a couple more. We got a few more packs to go after this. And then we're not. Okay, we already went over the fuel tank. Oh, that's it. Oh my God. Okay, well, I guess we're done with pack 9. This thing's amazing. I love this thing. This is great. I mean, you know me and military attack helicopters. So I'm gonna have both this thing and its Russian counterpart to display next to each other. That's gonna be so cool. Either way, click the links below. I will be at IPMS Nats as long as we get packs 11 and 12 in time, which we should. I will be at IPMS Nats. I will have stickers. I will have, you know, fridge magnets. So come say hi. If I'm not at the Agora booth, then just look for a guy in a Pit Stain Hobbies t-shirt or a blue hat, backwards blue mesh trucker hat, and it'll say Pit Stain on the back, so you can spot me from the front or the back, or just look for the fat man, and if I'm talking, you'll obviously be able to find me in a crowd. So thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, comment, please comment, and I'll see you next time. Adios, everybody.